Welcome back. Welcome back to the Detroit is Different podcast studios. And in studio is somebody that follows Detroit is different. It's always great to connect with those that are connecting with the culture of what we doing and actually has participated in Detroit is different entities as well. The My Natural Hair Show, not just as one of the models, but also bringing along someone very special to her, the daughter as well.
Yeah.
It's been a family affair for the Natural Hair Show, My Natural Hair Show. If you haven't come to the experience, you need to check it out. And we were doing some interviews of some of the models that were a part of it. And then that's where it's like, okay, you have an interesting story here. I would love to get you in studio to talk a whole lot about it. Rob Marie, how are you today?
I'm amazing, King. What about yourself?
Good, good.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we start these always with your Detroit story. How many generations deep? What brought your family here?
Okay.
What's your relationship to the city?
I was born and raised in Detroit, so
Mhm.
my whole life. So I'm rooted in Detroit. It's my city.
Okay.
And I always loved my city since I was a child. I always observed how, at one point in time, we was a unity community.
Mm.
And now we divided. So once I started getting older, I start seeing the changes. I'm like, I need to make a change myself. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while because I was also struggling with being a part of the everyday mind control system, far as being toxic. You know what I'm saying? To myself, to my family, to other individuals like men I was around. I wasn't really happy with myself. So one incident with my children, unfortunately, I'm gonna speak the truth. They got
Wait. Before we even jump into that,
okay.
hold on.
You like
You
wait,
jumping way in
listen,
there,
I'm in there.
and I got you. But first, now let's go to you're here your whole life.
Yep, I'm here my whole life.
Your
My-
parents, mom,
yeah.
dad, are they from Detroit too?
Yes. Okay, so my mom, she's actually born from Chicago.
Okay.
But she moved to the D when she was about 4 years old.
Hmm.
And she met my dad. My dad been from the city of Detroit his whole life as well.
Okay, so from Chicago to here,
D, yeah.
what brought your mom's family this way?
My grandma,
Mm,
she just decided to up and move to Detroit.
okay. All right. So do you still got family in Chicago?
Yes, I do. That's a family.
Okay. All right. So they come this way.
Yeah.
What neighborhood do they move to?
Fenkell,
Mm,
Fenkell Manor Street.
okay. So Fenkell, hey,
Yeah.
FA's right over there.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Is that a family home that you remember as a kid, or did you all move around?
no, we was embedded in Fenkell. Fenkell was our hood.
Okay. What do you remember about Fenkell coming up as a kid?
Um, Everybody been outside. Neighbors knew each other. Everybody spoke. All the neighbors whooped each other kids.
Mm,
Hide and seek games, cookouts, block parties was very popular on Finkel. Block parties
okay.
and stuff like that, like a community. It's
All
different.
right. All right. So from there, did you go to the schools in the neighborhood?
Yes, I did. I went to at one point in time. It was called Guest Elementary. It was right across the street from my grandma's house on
Mhm.
Manor.
Okay. All right. And then from there, I'm guessing, did you go over to Cooley?
No, I didn't go to Cooley. I went to Mackenzie.
Ah, McKenzie.
Murder Mac.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So now I gotta ask a little bit about mom, dad, and
Yeah.
also grandma. What were they doing during that time where you're coming up?
My grandma, I really don't know what she was doing, to be honest. She just always cooked in the kitchen. Like, we
Okay.
always have, like, family dinners. She made sure everybody ate family dinners, family breakfast, like, literally displayed on the table every day. So, all I know is grandma, she cooked. She
Okay.
cooked.
What was your favorite meal she made?
Um, still to this day, it's not a meal, it's a dessert.
Mm,
Her
okay.
pound cake is
Mm,
so delicious.
mm, okay. All right. And mom and dad.
Mom and dad, um, um my mom, she's a street hustler,
Mm,
to be honest. She more street savvy than she is book savvy. So
hmm.
she was a hustler.
Okay.
And my father, he is a graduate from Moorhead, so he was a bookworm.
Mm,
So he was an educator, and now he's electrical engineer for Detroit Renaissance Center.
mm, okay. Interesting.
I know, right?
All right. So within this, I'm guessing just those walks of life between engineer and hustler,
Yeah.
you're running across a lot of different people, brothers and sisters.
Yes. We are 70.
7. You youngest, oldest, where you
The
at?
second oldest.
Okay, okay, so that means you had a lot behind you.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Now I guess we can get a little bit more so to Mackenzie. At
Mhm.
Mackenzie, what was your Mackenzie experience like? What do you remember?
Mackenzie was rough for me.
Mm,
I fought a lot as a child, because I was really angry,
mm,
and, I actually got kicked out of Detroit public schools.
mm. Okay, you got kicked out.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah,
And a lot of the anger.
yes.
What do you think was the root for that anger and processing that as a kid?
Well, because growing up, my life was different. My mom I stayed with her, like, half of my life, majority of half of my life. She was, addicted to drugs.
Mm,
She got addicted to drugs, and she was just like a party life. She was a party chick, so I spent, like, a lot of time, like, with her little rendezvous, and she was like a madam. So she'd have these wild parties,
mm,
and, like, she had, like, the green light district, the red light district.
mm,
Each light of the room is something different, from gambling to, adult
mm,
things and all types of stuff like that. And one day, she's just like she couldn't take care of me no more, so she ended up I ended up leaving with my dad, whatever, but the addiction of being separated from my mom.
mm, mm. And just processing that, and
Yeah,
then even like that life as a kid, seeing that much
yeah,
is
young,
heavy.
very young, like, from
Mm,
the ages of, like, 4 all the way to about 10, I moved with my father.
mm.
So, yeah, I seen a lot.
Okay. And adjusting to moving in with your father.
It was different. I never really had a relationship with my father. He was just the parent that just drop off money,
Mm,
show him my grades, he'd give me a couple of dollars for being a straight A student, and he'd keep it pushing
mm,
type situation. So he was a stranger when I moved in with my father.
mm,
I was basically once I got there, I was, like, in a room for, like, days. I wouldn't come out because I didn't know who he was.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So it was weird for me.
mm. And in processing this,
Yeah,
this is just such a testament now to even get at that young age and where things would go. As right now, more of acknowledging
yeah,
ways of assisting people in processing mental sustainability, especially for young people, at what we will look at for the social workers and the counselors to provide those assets and resources that are a lot more commonplace now
mhm,
than I'm guessing at those times then. So with this processing,
mhm,
where's your mindset at? Out of school, still trying to get this footing and processing things as a young person. Where is your state of mind?
well, my mindset, I really didn't have one. I was really lost, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know who I was, like, I'm saying, dealing with my mom, like, not feeling beautiful, not feeling loved, not knowing what love was. I had to literally, like, grow up and, like, do things for myself. Like, I had to teach myself how to do math. I had to teach myself how to spell my name, like, all these things. I had to grow up real fast, so I had to be an adult real fast. I had to take care of my family quick. So my mindset, I really didn't have one. I just know I had to take care of my siblings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Okay. So in this taking care of your siblings and learning,
Yeah.
when do you get to this process of like um finding things that you can trust, people you can trust, systems that you can trust going through this?
I never have.
Mm,
Like, my mentality was like, I never trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it was sad, but it's like, I mean, people gave me a reason not to trust. So it's like, why trust somebody that I don't know or strangers or resources if my own family, I can't trust them. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So it's it was cool, man.
mm. Yeah, that's heavy. That's
It's
heavy.
heavy. It's pretty heavy.
So now to this space that you're in now,
Yeah.
in a space of healing
Yes.
and pouring into community,
Yes.
how do you get to this transition? How do you begin to move towards that?
Yeah. So basically, I just took time for myself. And, everything I knew or I was, raised around, I knew it really wasn't me. Like, I was acting up as I was being my father, I was being my mother. I thought they tendencies was the right way, and it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to adjust or remove being just me. So I just, like, took a step back from everything, like, literally everything. I had no phones for about 3 years. I wasn't on social media. I just really started, like, being with myself, trying to find ways to navigate me, because I have children now, you know what I'm saying? And they've been through a lot themselves because I was a toxic young individual. I had children at a very young age at 18. So I didn't know how to be a mother. So it was like once I went through so much trauma and I noticed my children was having traumas also, I'm like, I really had to reevaluate myself. So I started reevaluating myself and I had to make difference, you know what I'm saying? So I started working on my mental health, my physical health first, you know what I'm saying, jogging, running, you know what I'm saying, reading books, and then from there, it just started getting easy. I started changing my diet for the things I eat and put in my body, and things started becoming easier to me, you know what I'm saying? I started seeing different, I started thinking different, you know what I'm saying? I started realizing things like, "Oh, man, like, I'm really toxic for her, like, I really have a problem, like, there's really something wrong with me, and it's really nothing wrong with saying there's something wrong with you," you know what I'm saying? And, I just wanted to make a difference, so I did. I just put in the work for myself.
You said it took time to yourself, to be
Yes.
with yourself,
Yes.
and some of the toughest conversations that one can have is with self.
Facts.
How do you begin that process for a person watching this now that is close to that, but they have not taken that time to sit and really have that conversation?
I feel like the advice I could say is, like, don't run from it, you know what I'm saying? Because we run all the time from ourselves, our thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Sit in your thoughts, recognize your thoughts. Because I feel like, honestly, from my point of view, I feel like we already know what we suffering from. So why not just sit there and, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge it, you know what I'm saying? And once you acknowledge the problem, it becomes easier, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what the situation is. So now, okay, I got this problem. Now I can heal it. I can figure out what outlets that's gonna help me become better. You know, so not don't run from it. Like just face it head on. We have to start facing things head on.
Okay. So as you begin to face these things head on
Yes.
in this process,
Yes. Yes.
now as a mother,
Yes.
what are some of the ways that you saw some of the changes in your life? What are some of the first things that it's like, okay, I'm I still have this here, but now I can see that, or what changes?
Um, the first changes, I'm not gonna lie, my friends and my family,
Hmm.
they start like sliding away. And it was like it was so baffled to me because 'cause I'm like, "Dang, I would think y'all would want me to be better and do better." You know what I'm saying? But instead, it was like, "No, you becoming different." You know what I'm saying? You moving different, you thinking different. I'm like, "Dang, but why would you want me to stay the same? Like, I'm drinking every day, I'm smoking, you know what I'm saying? I'm neglecting my children. And why would you wanna be around that type of person?" You know what I'm saying? You wanna be around somebody who appreciate life, you know what I'm saying? So, the first thing was my family and my friends. They stopped messing with me. I was weird, all types of stuff. And then another thing I started seeing different was the way I thought, my patience, like, I became more patient with myself and with my children because I had, like, a spark, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will yell, I would be angry, I fight, you know what I'm saying? So my patience and my aggression, like, start changing.
Hmm. Okay. And with that, in moving in this space where friends and family are not present, as we're very social creatures,
Or
we connect through connecting to others.
actions.
How do you have that courage to walk this path alone at certain times?
Um My spirit guides, Imma be 100, like, my spirit angels, like, they with me 24/7, and it's like, to be honest, you know, my children, they looking up to me, so I'm like, I know that I have them in my back, you know what I'm saying, and I'm providing a different outlook for them to see, and as long as I got them, I'm good. I don't need, you know, family or friends, you know what I'm saying, I just got myself. As long as I believe in myself, I'm good. I don't need, you know, outsources or anything, you know what I'm saying, I know my purpose and I know my goals, so Imma go chase it and get it.
Okay. So as these changes started to happen, what did your goals become?
I'm it was crazy, like, all of a sudden, it was just like, I need to start doing for my community, because all the work you try to do for your family, keeping them together and doing things like that's not what you need to do, you need to start stepping in the community, so that's what I did, like because it's like, I used to literally cry every day just seeing how we was just so I don't wanna say the word toxic, but, like, confused. We were so confused with one another, like, how mothers would speak to their children, you know what I'm saying, crazy in stores, like, "Sit the F down," like, "Hey, why you talk to this baby like that?" Or, like, how men disrespecting women, women disrespecting men, and, like, you know, us littering, like, we don't care about our community, throwing trash on the ground, like, just doing everything, like, we so raunchy, and I'm like, "Dang, we so lost as a people," and I'm like, they need, like, a voice or, like, somebody who is just, like, just don't tell the truth, like, we have to do better as a community, you know what I'm saying, so I just started.
So what does that look like to you?
What exactly?
The doing better as a people, what does that look like?
Me, I feel like that's a good question to doing better for the community. I feel like as a people, I feel like mental health, like our mental, we have to first establish our problems because everybody. in the city that I see, like, they are angry. We are angry individuals. So I feel like it have to start with our mental health first, you know what I'm saying, and our physical being. And just we have to have a faith of believing in something. I feel like our faith of believing, we lost that over time. So I just feel like gaining that back and gaining like our real spirituality and who we are, I feel like that's what change for me look like.
Okay. So along this way of pouring into community, what are some of the first projects and things that you say, okay, I want to do this in community?
It started off with the cleanup, community cleanups. I was just going around cleaning up communities, me and my children. It was free hugs, free conversations, free food. So we started doing that around Detroit, just going around. We had signs, we set up tents, and we would just pass out food. We would walk around, we would clean up, pick up trash, play music, and we would just have a good time. You know what I'm saying? People would come, they would just vent, have conversations, and they would just literally like talk for their life out to me. I'm like, dang, okay, this is really working. And then I'm like, you know what? I wanna do more. Then I started looking up, like, different organizations in Detroit that actually do, like, community, cleanups, and that's what I connected with, Our Backyard Detroit, and we started working. I became the ambassador over, Detroit, District 1 for about a year and a half, and then, from there, I just continued to drive. I just started making more mental health programs. I'm like, "Okay, I wanna start speaking." So I got certified in healing arts therapy so I could teach, people in Detroit how to heal their traumas through art.
So let's go back to the District 1 in that initiative.
Mhm.
What was it like finding opportunity from one of your passions? How did you feel about it?
O
And then how did it function? What was the experience like for you?
okay, so how did I feel about I was excited because it was my first time ever being into a program that was organized, I guess, in a sense, and I'm like, I'm not organized in a sense, like, I just go with the flow of things. So, it was different, but it was fun because I learned a lot. I learned so much from the organization, and I appreciated everything I learned, but we didn't have the same goals set.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I was just told basically like I'm trying to cultivate the minds of the community instead of keeping the community clean. So it didn't really work out in that sense. But I told them like we have to cultivate the mind first to keep the community clean. Because if they don't know the community is dirty or they trash the community mentally, how you know what I'm saying? They gonna keep the community clean. Like we have to start with them recognize it first. And if they don't recognize it mentally, they not gonna understand. So it was like a back and forth thing so, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot. It just made me, like, grow way more to, like, okay, I see what it really is in Detroit, same
Mm.
with these organizations.
So from there, art therapy.
Yes.
How do you get connected to it? How do you even learn about it in the first place?
Research. Research. I started, watching, it's called dance therapy videos, and I'm like, "Ooh," like our people is in the city, we love music, and I'm like, a good way to get to, connect with people is through music, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's our first language is music. So I'm like, "Okay, Imma incorporate dancing." So I found some online classes and stuff like that, and I certified myself. Well, it took me about, like, a year and a half to get certified for.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, so now you're doing this,
Yes.
and is it in dance or any other forms of art? Where do or how do you
It
start?
it's dancing, it's painting,
Okay.
Is yoga, is, we do screen work, mirror work. I do a lot of mirror work, that's just, practicing affirmations.
Where, you said mural?
Mirror,
Mirror.
mirror.
What's explain it.
So mirror work is basically when you look into yourself in your own reflection and you say great things to yourself. And also you say bad things to yourself, meaning the things you feel that's harming you or, you know, having so much weight on you. I want you to release it by looking at yourself. Cause I feel like we keep so much in our head and we don't release it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna create a program where we just gotta speak to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. So I just set up a situation where, I do consultation with the person first. If they want to do it in a group or by themselves. And then I figure out their triggers. And then I put sticky notes on the mirrors and then they repeat it. And then from there I tell them to say 3 great things about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's harder than what most people think. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know how to get their own self compliments.
Mm,
And they do that, and then you just recognize them, they just start crying.
Mm.
They just start crying, and I'm like, "Dang, man, like, it's so sad we don't see our beauty in ourselves."
When's the first time that you did a session with the mirror therapy?
It was with myself first.
Mm.
And, it was last year, I went to Belle Isle, found a little spot by the water. I set up my candles, my incense, my mirror, I had my journal, and I just looked at myself. And, I was just suffering from I felt like I was like a bad mom, stuff like that. That's like that's hindering me because I'm like, I wanna do better for my children. Saying I wanna give them the lifestyle that I never had. So I just spoke that and I just cried. And I like cried, cried, cried. And I just felt like my heart getting like lighter. It was pumping. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I really had to let that out. And I just started speaking to myself, like telling myself I appreciate me, I appreciate my mind, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be okay. Just be patient with yourself. Everything will line up. Sorry.
Mm. Okay. And then doing that session with others,
Yes.
how do you respond? What have you seen in action of that?
Yes. So I just seen a bigger light on individuals, like far as like they are more opened up to where they not taking nothing from nobody. And not in a like I'm a baddie, but like more like of I know who I am and I'm comfortable in my skin. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody tell me nothing. So that's what I just want, like individuals to be more comfortable with themselves and just be able to know like they traumas don't define who they are. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
Okay. All right. And who are the people that take to the art therapy? Like who's the how are you how do you get your audience? How do you connect in community? How do you connect?
So, word of mouth, and I go on Eventbrite. So a lot of people book through Eventbrite, and it's free. It's free. I don't charge because I
Mm.
don't feel like I'm not here to collect money. I'm just here to help and just do my part, like I stated. And all my programs is always free.
Okay. All right. Now, what has been the response of your children as you've gone on this path?
Um, they, my son, all of them, they be like, "My," they just tell me like how much I changed. They like, "You totally different than how you was like 5 years ago." And I'm like, "Dang, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?" And like my daughter, she want to be just like me. She love helping. She's like a natural healer. She love helping. She love giving back. And like my son, the other day, his friend just house got caught on fire,
Mm.
and he like, "Ma, would you mind if I just donate some of my clothes to give to my friend?"
Mm.
And I'm like, "Oh man, son, like that's what's up, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So I just feel like it changed them also to become better people and see like we have to give back to our community. You know what I'm saying? And do just be better people individually.
Okay. So what do you see next? What do you see what's next with your plan in reference to organizing around community and the art therapy?
What I see next is just it getting bigger and getting more recognition. 'Cause, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's hard for me to get recognized because people like you're not gonna make it,
Mm.
And I'm like, dang, why they like? Cause you ain't a nonprofit, you ain't this, you ain't that. I was like, but I'm not doing it for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for my people. Like, I don't have to be certified, or I shouldn't have to be certified. I mean, I'm certified to be a therapist, but I don't have to be certified to be a nonprofit. I just want to give back and do back. So I just want it to be bigger and just get more recognition so people can know, like, it's someone out here to listen and to help, and we can have fun doing it.
Well, I definitely wanted to welcome you on to share this story and uplift it
Thank you.
as I found it fascinating just in the interview.
Thank you.
Just a short, just brief interview about that and your connection to My Natural Hair Show, which thank you again
Yes.
for being a part of
Thank you
something
for
like
having
that,
me.
you know? All right. So with that being said, how do people get in contact with you? How do they connect?
So you could connect with me on all my social platforms, Facebook, social media, Ra Marie Pier One, and also Loving Her Heels. And yeah, and also my email, Ra Marie Pier One. You could contact me at any of those platforms, and we could chop it up.
All right. Classic Detroit is different questions now.
Okay.
So, very first car, year, make, and model, year you got it.
My first car was a Cadillac old school. It had to be like 1990, year 2003.
Mm, okay. Where did you go when you first got it?
Um, I took my boyfriend to work.
Okay. Hey, there you go. Very, very cool ride for the first
That's it.
time. All right. You're the DJ at the end of the fireworks
Okay.
at Woodward and Jefferson. You get to play 2 songs. What songs you playing?
Oh, I'm playing, Landrell 11:11 and also, um, probably Frankie Beverly and Maze, Happy People.
Okay.
Ain't that Frankie Beverly and Maze?
Happy
People?
Feelings.
Happy Feelings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And last question. You could rename Woodward after one Detroiter. Who would it be and why?
Uh, Ron Marie.
Mm,
And, because I feel like it should be named by people that's actually from Detroit and actually make a change.
I'm with it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You King, I appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
Peace.